good evening. Good afternoon, evening-ish, I guess it is at the minute. So, less than a week until we're actually going to race this for the first time proper. And the wheels have turned up. Brilliant. So, the wheels, what have we bought then? Set of wheels and the profile of them. Let's see if you can see this. I don't know if you will from there, but they're not much different than the old wheels. So here's the old wheels, here's the new wheel, and this is what I'm going for. I'm going for just a slightly larger profile, just to make it a little bit faster then. Now I don't know if this will be any good compared to what anybody else is doing, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So the wheels are turned up, fantastic, and we've got a week to make them fit. So they don't fit. The old wheels have a 7mm hex and the axles are a 7mm hex, and the new wheels have a 12mm hex, and we need an offset on them as well. So we need to, the front ones are good. They're going to be in roughly a tiny little bit out from these, but the rear ones, they're wider. Oh, that was a rear one. No, it wasn't. There's a rear one. The rear ones are wider, and so I need more of an offset on the rear. Now then, oh, where are you? You're not looking, are you? Look, pay attention to what I'm trying to show you. So yeah, the rear ones are wider, so I have to move them out a little bit, otherwise they rub on the suspension. So we need an offset on the rear wheels. So we have to make then a spacer that will go on a 7mm hex to a 12mm hex at the right distance out. Okay, and I've done it. Here is one. So if I put that on there, so this is into the wheel then, and then I can slide it on. Oh, he says I could, if I knew what I was doing. There we go, I can slide it on, and that is where I want to mount this wheel. Now then, we are going to have possible steer arch rubbing issues and things like that, but we've got to get the wheels on first before we worry about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give you a quick little video on how I actually made the wheel spacers, because personally I think it's a work of genius. It took me a little while to figure it out, but I figured it out. So okay, watch this. Okay, now I am in the enviable position of owning a lathe, which obviously makes life a bit easier when you try and do something like this. But the first one I made in the vise, so you don't need it. I'm just making it in this because it's actually easier to make it in this. So first off then, what do we need? A little bit of plastic bar, okay? A bit of plastic bar. And we'll just put this in, he says. So I've got a bit of round plastic bar. Okay, round plastic bar now in the lathe. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to worry about the 7mm hex. Then this is the drive. And we've got to get the depth correct, because it has to be a certain depth. Okay. Okay, first thing we're going to do is just drill a tiny little sort of centering hole in there. Now this is going to make a bit of noise where you are, and you might vibrate, but bear with me. Okay, centering hole, fantastic. Now we've got to drill it to a 7mm hole, and it's like I say, it's got to be to the right depth. Oh no, I've lost my drill. Lost my 7mm drill. There she is. There she is. No, it's not. That's a 6.5. Not good, is it? That's a 7. Okay, good. 7mm drill. Now I need the hex. I need the hex to be. Now, sorry about this. I struggle to multitask, talk and do at the same time. So I need the hex to be 14mm deep. Okay, exactly 14mm deep. So we're going to drill this, because we'll probably drill this. We'll drill this to 16mm deep. Okay, 16mm. So again, this might make a bit of noise. Bear with me, just one moment, and we're on 10 there. Good. Okay, now that should be about 16mm in. Now, you notice this is trial and error. The reason I was going in and out and in and out is because if you try drilling it all in one go, I found that 17mm, that is. That's good enough. Okay, good. If you try drilling it all in one go, it gets hot and melts inside, and that's a bit crap then. Okay, so now then, we need the hex now, don't we? So what I've done, the way I've done this, and this is awesome, it works really well, is I've got a 7mm Allen key, cut it down so it's just flat. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit. Bear with me, just one moment. Okay, so I've got my 7mm Allen key in the end stop here, or in the chuck on the end. What I'm going to do is heat it up a little bit. Again, this will get noisy, so bear with me. Not for much, just a little bit. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to push it into the hole, okay, to the right depth. Yes, baby. Okay. And in theory, he says, in theory, get rid of this bit of old scabby stuff here. So it was heated up. In theory, I have a 7mm hex in there at the right depth. Okay, okay. So this is the 7mm Allen key. Look at that. Oh man, that is just awesome. Just awesome. So from a depth point of view, oh, sorry about that. The bloody phone went flat, didn't it? So I've had to make another one while I've been waiting for you. So we've got a tiny little bit of charge. So we've made the hex end, haven't we? Okay. Or as in the axle end, 7mm hex. So now we've got to do the 12mm. And how I'm doing this end, so I've put it into this end. Now this is a different one. This is one of the rears. Okay. And I've got a 12mm socket over there. I'm going to try doing this one-handed. Bear with me. So, bit of heat on the socket. So, and then we'll just push this. I can't watch how far I'm pushing it at the same time as videoing it. And pull it out. Okay, now where's the torch? And there you are, look at that, and there you are, look. So we have our 12mm hex end as well. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so obviously, as you can see, a little bit of cleaning up required, no problem at all. And I'll come back to you when I've cleaned them up. Now what I'm going to do is while I've got them here, I'm just going to drill a hole all the way through the middle of them as well. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. So there we have it, look at this. That's the front. And this one then is a rear, and you can see it's got slightly more of the wheel sticking out a little bit further on the rear. Fantastic. So what we've had to do, we've had to drill out the centre of the spline. I just did it at 3mm, and I've just got some longer screws somewhere. Oh, there they are, look, longer screws as well. Okay, so we're going to bolt all of the wheels on, and then maybe we'll give it a try. Now we have had a bit of a bus disaster. Our rear spoiler fell off. Disaster indeed. Okay, but hopefully we can deal with that, I'm sure. So I'll come back to you in a moment. Okay, there she is. She's done. She's done. Wheels are on. They're all bolted on. Fantastic. Spoilers been reaffixed, then refixed. Oh, look at her. She just looks fast. It's got to be fast because it's got red wheels on it now. Okay, so yeah, well, maybe we'll give it a spin around in a little while. I've got to wait for the glue to dry off on the spoiler, and then we can see how much body rub we have. But doesn't it look awesome? Doesn't it just look the nuts? Okay, back in a bit.